Hey everyone, welcome to the UkeStuff channel and welcome to this interview or conversation with Matt Cantlon from Aloha City Ukuleles. I've got his card. Let's see if I can get that right in there. There's his card if you need to contact him. He is happy to help you with any ukulele needs.
Ukulele needs.
Yeah, and we'll talk to him a little bit. So Matt, tell us a little bit about Aloha City. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and why you got into this business.
I got into this business because I fell in love with this instrument probably about 12 years ago now out in Hawaii. I was out there visiting my mother-in-law who lives out there. That's where I met my wife, by the way, back in the day, but we'll save that for another time. Anyway, I was out there and I was telling them how I wanted to go visit an ukulele factory. And my mother-in-law went to the closet and she pulled out this Aloha tenor that she had sitting in there. It only had 3 strings on it, didn't have a G string on it. And I picked it up and strummed it and just went, holy cow. I had never played anything like it before. So I was hooked. I'm a longtime guitar player. I started playing guitar when I was a teenager and continued to play. And then I fell in love with the ukulele, and now I play that all the time in addition to my guitar. And so that was my introduction to the ukulele, was my mother-in-law in Hawaii. So I thank her for that.
So you've got a background first in, was it like culinary or was it travel?
Yeah, I went to culinary art school when I was 21. I moved out to Hawaii, wanted to be a chef, thought I wanted to be a chef until I started working in the industry and realized that it was just too many hours and too much stress and not what I wanted to do. So after about 10 years of working in hotel and restaurant management, I decided I needed to do something I enjoy. So that's how I got into the music industry. And my first job was actually working at Guitar Center in Arlington Heights, Illinois over here, an extremely busy store. And I just learned a ton about the business, the retail business, all sorts of different gear. We sold everything over there and lots of it. So from there, I got hired as the regional sales director for Court Guitars, which is over here in Northbrook, Illinois, where I sold guitars to dealers all across the country. So I was in the guitar business for a number of years as well, before I got into the ukulele business.
So where did you grow up? Where was home?
I grew
originally?
up right outside of Chicago in Park Ridge, Illinois.
Yeah. All right. And then what drew you to Hawaii after culinary school?
Hawaii, I actually went to Hawaii to go to culinary school. That's where culinary school was. So I moved out there with a friend of mine when I was 21. Went to culinary school out there. That's where I met my wife as well. So Hawaii is definitely a magical place for me. And my mother-in-law still lives there, so we go back there quite a bit. We'll be going back there again in January, which I'm looking forward to.
So Aloha City, then, you decide to go into it. What makes you decide to change to that, leaving, because you were leaving the guitar company, right, and working with Court? What makes you then decide to take that leap of faith and open a store?
Well, it's really because of my love for the ukulele. I'm a player and I'm a collector. For a while there, I had about 30 guitars. I'm a guitar player. I was working in guitar stores, so I acquired a lot of guitars. I love guitars. Then I started playing ukulele. Of course, I wanted to acquire some nice ukuleles too. But there's nowhere in Chicago where you can go and play a Aloha or a Kanalea or a Romero Creations or any of those. Nobody had anything even close to that. So nobody in Chicago, including myself, was really able to experience those. You can watch the videos and all that stuff, but without really feeling and holding them and playing them, you can't truly experience it. So that's the reason I started this. I thought, I'm in a huge city like Chicago. There's got to be a lot of other people that want to play them like me before they buy them. And sure enough, there are.
That's kind of cool. And you're north of Chicago a little bit, right?
Yeah, I'm in Highland Park, which is northern suburbs over here. Great area. Right by Ravinia, which is the oldest outdoor music venue in the country.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, my wife has family down there.
On the street here.
Now, did you buy any of those Chicago Bear themed ukuleles to sell in your store?
I did not. No. Those are a little on the toyish side.
Yes, they are.
And I try to stay away from that stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, just so people know, you have in a short amount of time built a really good reputation for having a great selection and great customer service.
Oh, thanks.
There's a couple of the Facebook groups that speak very highly of you, and I know that you have some already return customers who keep coming back for their next or their additional, ukulele. How long has Aloha City been open?
I've been open a little over 2 years now. I opened up in 2019, and I was thinking about it on the way here. So much has happened in those 2 years. It's been amazing. I mean, we've taught hundreds of people to play. We had Jake Shimabukuro here, our second month open. I mean, it doesn't get any cooler than that. We put on a huge event across the street. We're across the street from a big park here. So we put on an event called Ukes in the Park. We had 10 different acts play. Jake was here. I got to play with him. Ukulele has been here. The news from Chicago, a couple of different Chicago news channels have come out to visit us. So it's just been nonstop, which is great.
Now, for a while, you even had some of those Shima ukuleles that were signed by Jake. Do you still have those available?
Sure do.
Okay. So if people are interested in a signed Jake Shimabukuro, Shima ukulele, and I don't think they're actually making that model anymore. I think they've changed the model.
They just added a tenor model.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Shima ukulele is Jake and his brother Bruce out in Hawaii, and Bruce really runs the show. But for a while they had the Soprano long necks, and I would get them all with Jake's signature, which was great. And then they just introduced the tenor recently, which is nice because the tenor is the most popular size. So I've only had a couple of those. I'm waiting on some more to arrive. But yeah, they're cool.
Those Soprano long necks, by the way, are soprano body with a tenor neck.
With a concert neck.
Is it concert? I thought it was tenor.
Concert neck, yeah.
Oh, because I thought it was based right off of Jake's ukulele.
No.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I thought it was a tenor neck. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
There's no comparisons to that one and his Kamaka.
Right. Yeah.
At all.
And which one, right? Because he's got multiple, I think.
He does. Yeah. I'm sure.
He travels. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? So what brands do you all carry at Aloha City? If you can.
We carry Koaloha, Kanalea, Romero Creations, Kawaya, which is a great company out of Japan, Rebel, Lanikai, Kala, Ohana, Pono, Snail, Makaio, Outdoor, Oscar Schmidt, Amahi.
And Flight.
Flight, that's right.
Yep.
Flight is the newest arrival. And the Flight stuff is great. They've got a really great following. They've been around for 10 years now. And people love that stuff.
How do you like that new electric that they've got?
That little gold top, I just got that Centurion, the first one in a couple weeks ago. Unbelievable. I had a lot of fun with that, plugging it into my pedal board. And it's like a mini electric guitar, but tuned like an ukulele. Tons of fun.
Now, in your personal collection, I don't ever ask someone that sells ukuleles, like, what's your favorite? But what are some of the special instruments in your personal collection?
Definitely my Koaloha tenor, which is the first ukulele that made me fall in love with ukulele. That's one of my favorites. I've got some old Martins that I like. I have a Snail at home that I like. Lately, I've been playing my Makaios. I like them all. I like the Kawaias are really nice. Yeah, probably my Koaloha and my Martins are the ones that I play the most at home.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your Makaio brand?
Yeah, Makaio is a brand that I just launched. I've been working on this brand for a while now. And Makaio, let me get it go the right way. Makaio actually means Matthew in Hawaiian, which is my name. And there's two different levels of them right now. We have a 10 and a 20 series. The 10 series are laminated woods I have a koa and a spalted mango model. This is the koa tenor. These guys are beautiful. And then I have the all solid wood model with this comfort contour that we put on here. It's got maple binding all around the body. It's got this abalone all around the body and the sound hole as well. The Makaio headstock that we came up with, my wife and I. And they're one of the easiest ukuleles to play. What I did was I took what I liked from everybody and combined it into what I like. And that's how these came about. So we just launched them a couple weeks ago and everything's been great. People have been loving them. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Did you have to travel somewhere to design those, or were you able to do that all from here?
I did it all here. They're made overseas, but with my connections, I used to work for Washburn Guitars as well. I was the product manager for Washburn Guitars. So I designed guitars and I worked with the factories overseas that made everything for us. So I have a lot of contacts overseas, and that's how I was able to find the best factory over there to make these Makaios. It took a while. This has been an ongoing process, definitely. So I'm glad it's finally come to fruition. I'm super happy with the product. It plays great. It sounds great. It looks great. And the best thing about the Makaios for me is when people come into the store and they pick one over everything else without me saying that it's mine, without me influencing their decision at all. And that's a great feeling for me. I love that.
It's kind of cool to have a store-specific ukulele too, because you're not looking at distributing those, right? That's just for your own store.
We're just selling these direct.
I love your Makaio shirt too, by the way, that you have.
Yep, gotta represent.
I love it. Now, can you just talk about the pricing of those? I mean, this is July 2021 and prices may go up.
Very reasonable. The 10 series, the concerts are $259. The tenors are $279. You can also get it with the pickup system for an additional $50. Plugs in down there. It's got the volume and tone controls inside there, which is a great feature. And I'll tell you what, real quick, I did my first gig with my Makaio last week. I've been gigging with my Aloha for a decade now, plus with the LR Bags pickup system. And this sounded better plugged in than the Aloha with the LR Bag system, which I was very pleasantly surprised. Sounded amazing. It's got the volume and tone there, so you can dial in a nice tone. So very happy with that. Then you get to the 20 series, which is the all solid wood ones. And these guys are $5.99. Still very reasonable for an all solid wood ukulele with an ebony bridge and fingerboard, bone nut and saddle. And that's all the appointments you find on the super expensive Hawaiian-made ukuleles at a much more affordable price. So
do those 20s all come with a pickup as well?
It's optional. You can get a pickup for additional $50. So it's $649 with the electric one, $5.99 without the pickup. They also come with the nicely padded Makaio gig bag. And yeah, you can check them out at Aloha City. You will like them. They play great. I mean, they're so easy to play. That's what people like about them. The action is super low. The strings are nice. And the tone is nice.
Now, your daughter plays too. You do some videos with your daughter. Yeah. How long has she been playing? And do they do ukuleles in her school?
They do, actually. And a lot more schools are starting to do it, which is great. She is 11, and she's been playing for about 4 years now. I think she started when she was 7. And she's great. She picks up stuff super quick. I mean, she learns songs instantly. It doesn't take her long at all to figure stuff out. So we have a lot of fun playing together, and it's great. I love that we can do it.
She co-hosted your Tuesday night thing,
didn't
she?
Yeah, she's co-hosted a lot of the lessons. We do a free group lesson every Tuesday, and a lot of people come out. We teach everybody a few simple songs. We all play and sing together, and it's a lot of fun. We've really built up a nice community here. We have a lot of regulars that come out in addition to a lot of new people. So we're teaching 7-year-olds to a lot of retired people. It's everybody in between. It's great.
And you've had a number of guests come to do like some sessions too.
Yeah,
I saw that
definitely.
Jenny Peters had a chance to come out at one time.
Jenny Peters is a local teacher here who's written a book, a very popular book. I think it's 21 songs in 5 days. She's got a bunch of different ukulele books out now. But she's one of our teachers, so she comes in and teaches the classes. I've got a few other local teachers that come in. So it's not just me. It mixes it up and exposes the teachers to different students and likewise students to different teachers. So it's not always the same thing. Yeah, we just started up again this week. And of course, we didn't do it last year. We were shut down. So we just started up the lessons again this week. And we're actually going to be doing a big group concert on September 2nd. Right across the street, they have an event called Food Truck Thursday, every Thursday, where they have a live band play. So we're going to be the opening act on September 2nd. It's going to be a whole bunch of different age players. We're all going to go over there and play a half hour's worth of songs, and it's going to be a ton of fun. So I'm in the process of signing people up for that. So September 2nd in Highland Park, Illinois, come join us.
Yeah, if you're local to the Chicago area, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Chicagoland. Now, if you have somebody that contacts you and they've never played ukulele before, what would be some of your go-to instruments, for a beginner? And let's not talk like a kid, which,
Right.
so not like that, but and not specifically one brand, but what are the sort of ukuleles that you would first recommend for somebody?
Well, for starting out, I like the Ohana stuff, the Kala stuff, the Lanikai stuff. They all make great introductory ukuleles. I sell a lot of the Ohana starter packs. It's got everything somebody needs to get going: the gig bag, the tuner, the strap, the ukulele, a little book with some chords in it. So we sell a lot of those, and the quality is good on those as well. They use the Grover tuners, so they stay in tune. That's a big thing. People don't realize if you buy an ukulele for under $100, there's a good chance it's not going to stay in tune. And I try to let everybody know that. You're going to buy a toy. So we try to stay away from that. And $100 or so, you can get a nice Ohana starter kit, and you're on your way.
And you guys include you include setup with all those ukuleles too, right?
We go through every single one of them that we send out. And while they don't need a ton of work, they all need a little bit. No doubt about that. So we condition all the fretboards. We check all the nuts. We file down all the saddles to make sure the action's right where you want it to be. If you get in a new ukulele and the strings are way too high, it's discouraging to play. And people don't realize that if it's not set up right, it's going to be harder to play. So it could be a lot easier to play and a lot more enjoyable if it's set up right. So yeah, we do that to every one of them.
And how large is your team? I didn't ask that question. Is it just you, or do you have some other people with you?
I have some other people. I have a guy named Johnny that's been with me from the get-go. He came over from Washburn Guitars with me. He's sort of my right-hand man. But it's pretty much just me. My wife, Cindy, does a lot of the web stuff and the internet stuff. But I do all the ordering and all the shipping and setting up. And yeah, I have a repair guy, Tony, that's a high school bandmate and friend of mine that's been doing repairs forever. So he does all the pickup installations and all the repair stuff that I can't do, like crack repairs and stuff like that.
So you just mentioned high school bandmate. What did you play in high school?
Oh, high school, I played guitar.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a band called Euphoria in high school, and we were actually pretty good. I was the weakest link. All the other guys went on to music school afterwards, and they still play professionally. And a couple of them I still gig with here and there, like Tony, my repair guy. We still do acoustic duo gigs together. So it's a lot of fun.
You said bandmate, you meant like really like a band, like.
Oh yeah, we had a band in high school, and yeah, it was great.
I thought you meant like high school band, like somebody played in your band.
No, we had a rock band. It was a 5-piece rock band. Yeah.
Now, one of the other products that you included very kindly with, I bought a Koalana from you, something that I've wanted for a long time. I'm a Koaloha fan myself, and I've got quite a few of their things here, but I'm afraid to bring either my full koa or my OPOs with me to school because kids don't always respect boundaries. And, all of a sudden you turn around and your $500 OPO is in pieces on the ground. I didn't want that. Yeah. So that Ko'olana has been appealing to me for a long time. And you had a big Memorial Day sale, which was kind of cool. Yeah. I love that. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. But in it, you included this. See if I can get on screen, which is, your polished. Now, I don't know what other things you've made or had made for you yet, but I thought this would be a great one for you to talk about. And if there's anything else that's at your store that people might be interested in that would be worth contacting you for.
Have you had a chance to try that polish yet?
I have not yet. It's going to be used soon.
Okay. That stuff is the best polish out there, and I've tried them all. It's actually made by a guy here in Palatine, Illinois, who also makes Trick Drums, which is a high-end custom drum company. But he makes this polish for us, and it works amazing on ukuleles, guitars, any instrument really. It's streak-free. It's not harmful to the environment, and it even smells good. But it keeps everything super clean. I love that polish. And one bottle will last you a very long time of that stuff.
So, and if people are interested in buying one of those, they can order those. Can they order that off the website?
You can order that on AlohaCityUkes.com. It's only $5.99. And like I said, one bottle is going to last you most likely a lifetime, unless you're in here polishing all the time like we are. But yeah, that stuff is great. Other new products we have coming out are the Makaio strings that I've been working on. Those are getting finalized now. So we're going to have the Makaio fluorocarbon strings coming over pretty soon. I also have Makaio baritones on the way, and I have some striped ebony models on the way as well, which is a new wood that we're using.
Very cool. So that's kind of the things. And then you've got all the other accessories in your store too.
Everything.
So you have now. I know you've made a video about Oasis strings, and I know strings are so subjective, and you probably carry a whole brand. You probably got Worth and you name it, right? Yeah. But what do you still think Oasis are the best value for the money, or do you have other ideas?
Like Oasis, like everybody else, I went down that hole a long time ago trying to find the right string. So I've tried not all of them, but I've tried most of them, and I sell a ton of different strings. But the Oasis, to me, just have the right feel, they have the right sound, and they have the right tension, the string tension, which I like as well. And the Makaios that are coming out are very similar to the Oasis. They're a little smoother to me on the fingers, but they sound just as nice. The Oasis are great because it's also enough for 2 sets. So you're buying 1 set, but you're really getting 2, which is a bonus.
Awesome. Yeah, it's been, I've also, just so people know, you do quite a bit on social media, posting things, not only like demos of instruments, but you'll also show some accessories. Sometimes you'll just feature you and your daughter playing, which is kind of fun. Where can people find you on those social media platforms?
Yeah, we're on Instagram at Aloha City Ukes. Same with Facebook. AlohaCityUkes.com, of course, is our website. And yeah, we're out there. We try to not put too much stuff. We don't like to bombard people. And honestly, I don't have that much time to put that much stuff out there. But I try to let people know, what we have and give demos of everything. So the people who can't get here can get as close as possible to holding it and feeling it and experiencing what it sounds like.
And again, you don't have to go into detail with this, but how did you weather the pandemic, which isn't over, but how did last year go in the midst of all the craziness?
It actually went really well for us. When we were first told that we had to close the store, I was nervous because most of our business came in the door. So I was nervous, but then the online business just took off. And as you know, a lot of new players were born during the pandemic. This is one of the easier instruments to play. So a lot of people picked up the ukulele, they picked up the guitar. So we were fortunate to be in the right place at the right time. And we have a nice store set up online that's easy to navigate. So we've been doing well. It's been good for us, actually. We're one of the industries that's benefiting from it.
Yeah, lots of people picking it up. Now, talking about new players, what would be your major tips for new players' advice?
New players, I just tell them to have fun and don't overthink it. A lot of people, when they come in here, they watch videos and they get it in their head that they have to do this certain strumming pattern and down, down, up, down, down. And it just becomes too robotic. And I just try to tell people, just relax and enjoy it and play what you feel. You learn at your speed and make it fun. Play stuff that you enjoy playing and you'll continue to have fun.
And I guess kind of as a final question, because we've got about a half hour here, and I appreciate your time coming and visiting.
My pleasure.
This is fun.
Anytime
Someday
you want to
I
talk
hope to
about
visit you in person.
But when did you get into it? How long have you been playing?
2016, and I picked it up. Yeah, I picked it up because I needed something in the middle of the year with my middle school choir students because we didn't have a concert. And I started playing ukulele, and it wasn't long before I fell in love with it. And then I also saw adults coming to the instrument without any training or anything, coming back to music and falling in love with music. And I saw that community piece. And as a music teacher, I went, oh my gosh, that's what we want. We want people to be out there making their own music and coming back to it. And then I fell in love with it. So then I started making resources. So that's how this whole thing started.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been fun, and I've been all over, talking about and doing stuff with ukulele. It's been a hoot.
The community is amazing.
It is, isn't it?
It's just nice people. Everybody in the ukulele community is a nice person, and that's one of the things that I really love about the community.
Yeah, I sometimes you do run into the occasional person that knows every answer, and then that's funny for me because I have a PhD in music, and I just let them be. You're always going to find that one person.
True.
And you just in your brain, you just go, all the answers. I just defer to you. You know what I mean? Even though I really don't. It's all you. So, and again, I try not to be that person either. In the midst of things, but it's
me either. I definitely don't know it all. I've learned a ton, but I still have a ton to learn. So, I'm always willing to learn more.
So, what haven't we talked about that you'd want to share with ukulele players or about Aloha City that we haven't had a chance to share yet?
Just that, we care about this stuff. You order from us, you're going to get somebody who actually cares about it and sets it up and takes time to make sure that it plays nice before you get it. And that's a big deal. A lot of places, big guys like Amazon, and I love Amazon, believe me, I've ordered a ton of stuff from Amazon, but I don't want an ukulele from Amazon because it's going to be dry. It's going to be stored in a dry warehouse. It's going to come in with the action this high, and it's not going to be touched by a human before it gets to me. So that's one of the advantages that we provide is that we actually care, and we ship right away. A lot of the guys are backed up and they can't ship right away. I'll stay here as long as it needs to set all the ukuleles up and get them out because I know when people buy it, they want it. I know when I buy one, I want it to get here as soon as possible. And so does everybody else. So we try to get them out as soon as possible.
Yeah, you did a great job with shipping. It was very securely shipped to me, that Koalana. And quite honestly, I mean, that's not a cheap instrument, but it's also not an expensive instrument. And you did a great job with it. A setup is perfect. It's and it's a beautiful instrument. So again, it's not a Koaloha, it's a Koalana, but it is what it is, right? A lot
of the Koalana stuff, and people like it. Yeah, not everybody can afford the Koaloha Hawaii stuff, so it's a nice option.
What are your general hours? Where are you located, both in person and on the web, so people can find you?
Yeah, on the web, we're 24/7, of course, at AlohaCityUkes.com. The showroom is open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 4. We do a free group class every Tuesday at 4 in the afternoon. And you can find us online at Facebook, Instagram. We're out there.
Yeah, and you're the real deal.
We try to be. Yeah, we love this stuff. It's not, I wouldn't do it if I didn't love it.
Well, it's great to have more, stores to be able to recommend, because in the past it was like the ukulele site, but they stopped selling cheap instruments.
Right.
And you've got Mims Uke, which great job. You've got
She's great, but
the
she's
Uke
limited.
Republic.
She only wants to do so much.
Right.
Uke
In
Republic's
Uke
great
Republic,
as well.
you've got these little spots. So it's
Right.
nice to have another vendor, not that it's competition for prices, but just another source. And then everybody can carry slightly different things. And then the fact that you've got your Makaio stuff and everything else, that's kind of neat too. I know like Uke Republic has is it the Sailor brand or something like that? Mim has had some things done. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just kind of fun to see the different things. And someday I, hope to get down there, and my wife comes from Chicago. So
yeah. Absolutely. You're welcome to come by anytime. You'll have a ball playing all these different ukuleles in here. I've got 100 beautiful ukuleles on display ready to be played.
And do you sell merchandise too, or not yet?
Yeah, we have Aloha shirts. We have Hawaiian shirts made out in Hawaii. We have a bunch of different ukulele-related shirts, stands, straps, capos, picks. I got a ton of books over there. Everything ukulele-related and nothing else is what we have. These guitars behind me are just a few of my personal ones. We don't sell guitars either.
I was just thinking, what is the number one printed resource that you sell for like music?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably we have these 3 and 4 chord songbooks with tons of songs in them. Those are probably the best sellers. That and the Beatles stuff. Everybody loves the Beatles.
Isn't that something? I mean,
the Beatles influenced so many people, and they still continue to influence people. It's amazing.
I was working with a company, my tech side of things. I've run techandmusiced.com for a long time, and I was working with a company called UberChord that does this sort of like tutorial system. Mm-hmm. You play guitar and it teaches you guitar. Right. And one of the things that they told us in that interview was that still the number one songs that are ever requested are Beatles tunes.
Yeah.
And it's like that is, again, I adore and admire the Beatles, and their influence, but still, that's amazing to think about the legacy.
Nobody's had a bigger influence on music than the Beatles. No question about that. And rightfully so. They were all over the place style-wise. They were great.
It's awesome. Well, Matt, I appreciate your time today.
No problem. My pleasure.
Really, again, I look forward to visiting you sometime in the future and seeing what you've got. And eventually I'm going to put in an order for those Makaio strings, and who knows, there might be a Makaio ukulele in my future too. We'll see.
There you go. It was a pleasure meeting you. I'm glad you're in the ukulele community, spreading the good word about the ukulele. And you're welcome to come on down anytime.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks. See you.